That's one of those things where they didn't think it through, like how it would feel to play against something like this when you're a melee character. Because really my best play is to just kind of pull him around and let the other guys kill him. Because he'll try to smash me, right? Poorly, I might add. So if I just keep walking away from him. I just go away from him, he goes back. Like, if he didn't have the thing where he knocks me down every fucking time, even despite me having the thing where I'm supposedly not as easily knocked down. This would be a fun, it could be a fun fight, but they just gave him the cheese. And I could just walk away, let him do some, you know, silliness. There you go, he's dead. Not a terrible bow. And I guess with sword and board it's less of a problem as well, because I think you can, if you shield stance, he can't knock you down, so... There may be some stuff there that, you know, that's because of the way you play, but... Like, if you're a melee rogue or a melee DPS warrior where you do use two-handers, that's a terrible fight. Because you have to get close to him and he does nothing but smash the ground. Which basically means if you're melee, just run away from him and have someone else kill him. Which, that's boring.
A spirit on the island held the memories and possessions of Ameridan's lover, a woman named Talana. It told us that Ameridan was here on orders from Emperor Draken himself. And where he went.
Like, not even the dragons knock you down that often.
I may have received tenure from that sentence alone. A Meriden had a lover. Talana, you said. The Inquisitor's Lady Mage. There was such debate over whether she existed. And there were orders? This was a request from Draken? This changes everything.
You don't have a problem receiving information from spirits?
It's not ideal, but...
I don't know if the roll has iframes. If the roll has iframes, then yes, you could time it to roll
Any
through
study
the
of great wars and
thing.
battlefields carries an inherent risk of contact with demons or spirits.
But if it doesn't, you would just get knocked down as well.
Most historians love
Plus,
the chance of a first-hand report.
I don't know if you could roll, hit, roll, hit, roll. Like, I don't know how often you can roll, right? Because as soon as you run out of roll, you're back to the same problem.
Mission from Emperor Draken.
And you wouldn't be able to use any special moves because you would have to use the stamina to roll.
Responsibilities to go hunting. Another suggests Draken had him removed or even killed because Meriden opposed the Navaran Accord. But if this is true, then Meriden was a loyal servant of Orlais.
Like, if it has 5-second cooldown, yeah, you can dodge once.
Protecting Orlais while Draken fought in the Second Blight.
You were surprised.
But he was doing it way more than every 5 seconds.
This Talana you mentioned, her existence has been hotly debated. Some scholars took Inquisitor Meriden's respect for the Chantry to imply that he remained celibate. In ages past, there were stories about him and his lover, a mage. They made it out to be a star-crossed romance. The Chantry silenced the stories, strenuous.
At the very least, we've found something to work with. The spirit said to follow the river to the north, and something about spires or spikes.
I'll look at it in a second just to see what the cooldown and so it is.
The scouts have had trouble with Hackonites up there. I'll continue my research, but for now, your guess is as good as mine.
What do you need me to do next, Professor?
That spirit on the island said something about a Meriden going upriver to, some place with spires? While you search upriver, I'll continue studying these buckles. That, sounded better in my head.
I'll speak with you later.
Like, let's have a quick look here. I should be able to see the stats on it. So it has 2-second cooldown, but it costs 18 stamina to roll, and then... Right. So what you could do is basically you get knocked down and you could roll to get back up. Or you could use it to do damage. So I guess you could you could use it for dodging the thing, but like 18 stamina, you have 100, so you could do it 5 times, right? Let's say 6. Let's say you regen enough to do it a 6th time while you do the 5 other ones. That means you can't really do like any moves, right? Because if you do this, that's how much is this? That's 45 stamina to do Mighty Blow. So you couldn't, roll Mighty Blow, because you could roll Mighty Blow, roll, and then you'd be out of stamina. Then you could do a regular hit, roll, and then you'd be completely out of stamina. I don't know, Reaver moves, they might take health, not stamina, so let's have a quick look. So let's say if I go Dragon Rage, right? So yeah, I could roll Dragon Rage a bit, roll Dragon Rage a bit. But then once I use Devour costs 60 stamina, basically. So I could roll Dragon Rage, roll Devour, and I'd be out of stamina. Which I guess I could, then back off and dodge for a while until my stamina's back and repeat. But that's the equivalent of me doing charging bull, doing some damage, getting a couple of hits in, or letting my friends get a couple of hits in, charging bull, get a hit in. So, and I get guard when I do it to potentially block his next move. So like, neither one is good. Like I wouldn't say any of those options is actually good, but they're you know, equally bad. The thing it should have, right, and the game doesn't have it, is if you have heavy armor, you should be less prone to getting knocked down. Like if you're this massive tank of a character, you shouldn't be getting knocked down by everything. Like it doesn't need to be immune, right? But like if I'm wearing heavy armor, I should have less, like, you know, like minus 40% chance of a knockdown. So then I could, you know, use some dodges, run around a little bit. Then when he tries to hit me, even if I eat it, I'm not necessarily immediately put, you know, on my ass, where I'm just in a knockdown loop. Like maybe 20% knockdown resistance for every armor class, something like that. So like light has 20% chance to not get knocked down, medium 40, heavy 60. Because you're supposed to be this, you know, this man that stands in the fray and you know, actually gets hit. But all you're really doing is lying on the ground getting bodied. Because if he keeps slapping me down, I can't even keep aggro, right? Because I need time to do my war cry or my taunt or whatever. That's what I'm saying. It's poorly designed. Because like the most effective thing I can do is literally just run around. It's just, you know, get aggro, run around, and let my friends blow them up. Which, as far as, you know, cool things to do, isn't very cool. Mi scusi. Yeah, maybe that could be a downside, that you take a little longer to get back up. Oh, that would make it equally frustrating. It would be more like, you know, they would have that movement speed as well. But then you start getting into Dark Souls territory, right? Where having a lot of poise, it stops you from rolling and stuff like that. But given that rolling is a as a skill in its own in this game, that doesn't really work. Yeah, but you're not looking for realism. You're looking for fun. Like just getting your shit kicked in over and over and over again isn't very fun. Especially if you need to be in that range, right? Like it's not like I can play from distance. That's just not how warriors work. I'm you know, supposed to be underneath his hits. I can try and dodge them a little bit, obviously, but I'm not designed to be not taking aggro and like, at least if I'm a rogue, I can you know, I can put on gear and stuff that lower aggro generation, so I can, you know, at least have it where he's not trying to hit me in the head, and then just, you know, position myself so I'm not underneath the blows and try to dodge like that. It's gonna be less frustrating than on a warrior where, you know, you're always gonna, unless you bring in an off tank and you actively don't aggro and you know, that's how you get guard. Yeah, you're probably, you know, you're gonna take some hits in the head. I mean, I wouldn't do that, but it's not even an option. Like, it's not like I can throw weapons at him. And like, my only ranged move is the earth-shaking strike, where I can put down the fissure of fire, and it does a hit as well. And it's not like you know, you don't use that, but that's not a way to do damage. That's not, and you know, that's just not how a warrior works. Like, a warrior is always up close and personal. And that's talking as a DPS warrior, right? Like, if you're a sword and board, I think your shield can stop you from getting knocked down, right? But you might still just get smashed the entire time, which it's not good design.
I've come to consult with your soldiers on matters pertaining to natural threats. The beasts of these woods are fierce, and I fear they've already claimed the life of my dear devoted scribe.
What are you doing out here?
Once I was content to remain in the safety of my estate. Then, with the passing of my uncle, I was obliged to join an expedition to the stranger parts of Theros. How little of our natural world is understood. What terrors creep across the soil while we lie ignorant and ill-prepared. You knew what I do of the common fennec, would not sleep. From that day onward, I have studied the wilds and the beasts therein.
Are my soldiers running into problems?
They face delays establishing camps due to pests of various nature. I offer to consider the matter. There is an herb mixture. Correctly placed, it could ward beasts away from their supplies. I would not presume to further involve myself in your organization's military affairs. Perhaps I might entrust these to you.
I should go.
Inquisitor.
Yeah, it's a bit of a trend these days. Like, obviously this kind of came out before that trend was a thing, but like Diablo, for instance, is also really shit if you're melee, and there's other games that are just terrible if you're a melee class. I think that's the way up though, like, not gonna lie. And do a little lap real quick. It's just usually not well thought out. Because they'll do like a move, it's like, oh, but it's really dodgeable if you're like, 10 feet away from them. It's like, yeah, but if you're a warrior and you do your damage up close, or a melee character and you do your damage up close, it's basically unreactable. Like, that's just not thought, you didn't think it through, and it's not a good design. And it's not like the boss positions itself so that it becomes unreactable either. Like if you just wouldn't stand there, then oh, you'd be fine. No, it's just you have to position yourself in a position where you make it unreactable, not the boss. But then if you don't stand there, you can't do damage. So it's one of those terrible, like I said, it's just terrible design. Like it's designed around you needing to stay out of an area, but if you're not in that area, you can't do anything. Like it'd be different if we could somehow crowd control the giant or the creature or whatever. Or we could get it into a combo where it can't do anything for a little while, and then you can get close and do some stuff. But it's basically an uninterruptible creature. Like a bit of a loose comparison would be like Geef doing the little roar, like in Street Fighter where he does roar and he runs across the screen. Like if I do that from a long distance away, it's really easy to dodge, right?
How are you feeling about that bet now?
Because it's massively telegraphed.
Good, actually.
You're crazy. We're beating Corypheus every time we turn around.
And
on the run.
it's amazingly easy to
We're beating his
dodge.
Minions, my hirsute little friend. Not the same thing.
But when I do it point blank, it's really hard to dodge because I don't do the roar and I just grab you and throw you.
If he crushes us, you'll be dead.
That will make
So the play is that you can either stay away from me and try and do some damage from range for that particular move, which a lot of characters can do, or you come in and you immediately lock up my movement, make it so I'm getting punched or whatever, I have to block where I can't crank out that move. So you're crowd controlling me. It's not like you come in, you start beating my ass, and then I just push a button and I'm throwing you. That would be terrible. So regardless of from what distance you do damage, you have a way of not getting hit by that move and doing some damage of your own. In this case, like I can go close, I can start doing like, shattering blow, more mighty blow. Try and get him crowd control, but it doesn't matter. He can just stomp me anyway. Because he doesn't, the giants don't get crowd control. And then it's like I stay away from him. If I stay away from him, I can do damage. So I'm basically a useless, you know, part of my squad, and anyone else that's melee or gets in melee range is useless. At that point, it's bad design. Like, you have something that has no counterplay.
Not to disparage the enlightened Baron, but I didn't think these would actually work.
And for some reason, it's always the melee characters that get shit on because they're in the worst position. Like, one of the only games that has done it the other way around, where there's a class where you better off when you're in a melee character, was Elden Ring. Like, Melania, you're actually better off being a melee character. It's not impossible, it's just that she has specific counters to range attacks that you don't have to deal with when you're melee. And like, if you're a mage, you have to be like, oh shit, she can actually do stuff back. I have to use specific spells and, you know, change up my thing a little bit. Which is kind of neat. Shit. Did I miss one? Wait, I think so, right? Yeah, I have one that doesn't work. Shit. Ah, this is an even worse idea. Oh, that doesn't work either. I think I was actually going more or less the right way here. No, that's not it either. This is a bit of a tricky one. It's also really hard. Like, I have a bit of a situation here. I'm having a hard time concentrating. Oh wait, the left side's open, or the right side's open. Oh wait. This changes things. Wait. Restart. Go this way. Okay, wait. So we go this. No, we go this, that. This, that. There we go. Sorry about that. See, that's me having a hard time focusing there. The fact that I didn't see that the right side was open, that was that wasn't good. Wait, did he get hit by something, or did he just stick out from the fucking poison? Do.
assist the soldiers. I take it you've met Baron de Mortizan?
And you are...
Dunwich, your worship. The Master's scribe.
De Mortizan said you were dead.
I'm merely late, sir. I was not to return until I'd gathered evidence on the Nox Mortar.
How did you get involved in all this?
I've been the Master's scribe these past 10 years. The Baron has made a study of a number of creatures. I'm assured my assistance is invaluable.
You're gathering evidence on a,
The Nox Mortar. I was to set out apparatus for gathering information on the beast. Retrieving it proved difficult. Gurguts. If you're out here anyway, your worship, I can inform you that the Baron's pockets are deep. He would no doubt appreciate any efforts made on his behalf.
What is the Nox Morta, exactly?
A skulking beast the Master believes lies somewhere in the basin.
That's not very specific.
I'm afraid specificity eludes us, sir. Officially, the beast remains undiscovered and unwitnessed.
I should be going.
Very good, sir.
The Grey Wardens allow elves and dwarves into their ranks?
Funari too, I imagine. They don't care about titles or blood, just stopping the blight.
A pity they do it so badly, then.
But give them some credit. It's not like you can study
Man,
the blight.
I have a feeling that
may
the
not like
game
everything.
kind of wants you to rotate companions rather than always take the same one, because they run out of shit to say, and instead of just you know, I don't know, like somewhere in the coding it just changes a 0 to a 1 or whatever, you know, when the conversation's had, so it doesn't rotate back in. They're like, nah, you know, we'll just let that roll again. we'll just, you know, we'll play that out again. People will love this banter so much they will hear it more than once.
By now.
They've bought
And it's like,
some time.
man,
I will grant them that.
I feel like once the banter's passed, I'd rather just have them follow me in silence than roll it back, you know? Nah, 2 seconds, you guys. I gotta go grab something. I'll be a right backaroni. Good, it was a fear demon. He knows what he's dealing with when he sees Billy. And we're coming up the mountain when we come. Gulp that Pepsi Max? No, it's a store brand cola with actual the sugar. I don't like of all the light drinks or the diet drinks. I mind Pepsi Max the least, but I'll still much rather drink regular Pepsi or like. I'm a technically a Coca-Cola guy. Like my favorite type of cola is just regular Coca-Cola. But I don't mind Pepsi, and I know like Clippy likes it, so you know. It's not a big deal to me, so I don't mind getting Pepsi most of the time. But if I'm getting like a beverage just for me, I'll probably get Coca-Cola. Like my two favorite drinks are probably regular Coca-Cola and Canada Dry ginger ale. I mean, to each their own. Like, you know, people don't need to like what I like. I'm just wrong. I mean, yeah, but that is also fine. I can be wrong, but then just let me be wrong. Like, I'm not forcing anyone else to drink stuff, right?
Did you see the look on those nobles' faces?
I'm not preaching the gospel according to Coca-Cola.
I cannot have guests, lowlanders, even those who don't hail from the hold.
Who are you? And why are you out here?
If I tell you, will you leave me be?
I'm just telling you what I
I'm
like.
Sigrid Goldstotten, Augur's apprentice. I exiled
Like, I also like
myself from their
Sprite.
hold.
You exiled yourself?
Aye, I did. And my tongue will say no more on that.
Have I heard about the great Pepsi Max? Like I said, I don't mind Pepsi Max. Pepsi Max is alright. Don't want to hear its word. Does it have a specific word? Is it bird? Wait, what the fuck? There's a bunch of dead baby things down there. I think this is the rock where they test if the babies are good. I wonder, one of them has loot. Ew. I could, but I think I can just get down there without taking damage. Oh. Zoni trying to make me sip a coup myself because I like regular cola. Man, it's like my one vice. Like, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. You know, I don't eat particularly unhealthy. Like, you know, I eat some junk food now and again, but I don't eat particularly unhealthy. The only thing that's my vice is that I like Coca-Cola and some other sugary drinks. Although I gotta say, if it was like readily available and like they had like a store brand version of ginger ale, because that's the biggest problem for me is that there's no store brand version of ginger ale. I would drink ginger ale a lot because I really like ginger ale. Not ginger beer. Ginger beer is disgusting, but ginger ale is really good. But I don't think it's a popular enough beverage for them to make like a store brand version of it. So it's always really like it's more expensive than Coca-Cola, and then at that point I might as well drink Coca-Cola. Ah! All right.
Kill the Inquisitor! Death to his hold! For Hakon's glory!
But yeah, like the store I go to doesn't even carry Candid, right? But like I couldn't even get it if I wanted to. This homie does a lot of damage. Trying to kill all of his pals first though, because they do a lot of damage too. Oh my god, all my people are stuck in a fucking tree, man. Varric, please, man. Like, Okay, I completed Way of the Reaver? What was that? Wait. Can't see anything is D4 all over again? That's right, maybe one day we'll go back to D4 and we can experience the OG feeling. Like, I have no doubt at some point I'll play more D4, but I don't know if it'll be this expansion. Maybe like when they come out with like a more full, you know, like a game of the year type, all the DLCs in it, kind of like upgrade, then maybe. Maybe by then it'll actually be finished, or feel finished. What's the point of this? Maybe a quest later? You save me monies? I mean, it depends. Like, maybe I'll get really into Path of Exile 2, or I'll, you know, Last Epoch is always still there as well. Or, you know, Titan Quest 2 will be really good. And I'll never really have that hankering to play Diablo again, because I'll just have other ARPGs. That's entirely possible. Like I said when I was talking about it, you know, like not long ago, is that it used to be where Diablo had no competition. Like, they were head and shoulders the best ARPG. Like, even in the times of Diablo 3, they were like head and shoulders the best ARPG. But that's no longer true. Like, Path of Exile is probably as good, if not in some ways better. Last Epoch is, you know, definitely a contender. Let's put like graphic-wise not, but like mechanic-wise for sure. Well, we don't know about Path of Exile or Titan Quest 2, like Path of Exile 2 or Titan Quest 2. They might be better, they might not be. Like, they have good bases to build off, and we have to see what they do. Like, if Titan Quest is like, Titan Quest 1 is my favorite ARPG. Like, that was the one that got me into it, right? Yeah, but here's the thing, Zony, you can only kind of sell out a name once. Because people bought Diablo 4 because it's Diablo 3, well, was good at the time. Like, it didn't start out being super good, but it's because they tried things that weren't popular. But yeah, once you've lost that trust, where people don't buy your game on the name alone anymore, you can only do that once. These guys are doing mad damage. Oh, for fuck. Like, it'll still work to an extent, right? Because there's still the people that they do like Diablo 4, and so for them it stays. But like doing like $1 billion on a game that isn't very good, you can only do that once. Because every time you do it, you lose a really big chunk of the people that still want to believe it. And then, you know, they already kind of did it with D3. Like, not really, but kind of. Like, they tried a lot of new things that weren't very popular.
They don't care about titles or blood, just stopping the blight.
A pity they do it so badly then.
But give them some credit.
But I don't know, I think if they brought out, you know, Diablo 5 next year, right? Let's say they wanted to do that, they would sell massively less copies than on D4.
I will grant them that.
Like, it's not, it's a slow death because it's not immediately a full drop off, right? But like, you also don't get the massive payout on not much at all. Like, you don't get that anymore either. Because like I've said, D4 was not a $70 game. I don't know if it is now. I have no idea what they changed to it, right? But when it came out, it was not a $70 game. Like hell, the new Dragon Age is already kind of like a thing as well. Like people got really, like Anthem, right? Made people really suspicious of BioWare. Because, you know, they had some lesser titles, but they have never shit the bed like Anthem. And now the new Dragon Age comes out. It doesn't look good. But in the past, people would have just been like, ah, it's the new Dragon Age, right? Like, it was a really popular franchise, like the new Mass Effect. Really popular franchise, has loads of fans. People would have just, you know, ate that up and they would have tried to be positive about it. Now, it's already, you know, in a lot of people's minds, it's already like, oh, this is the next Anthem. This is gonna be an absolute shit show. Like, I don't think you would have had that back when, you know, like, after Dragon Age 1 and Mass Effect 1 and, you know, like, heights of, when BioWare was in the height of its powers, people were just like, new BioWare games comes out. Fucking deal, dude. Like, the last two we played were amazing. Let's go. You know, would almost buy sight unseen, right? Maybe people want a trailer, obviously, but... It's more for hype than convincing at that point, right? Now they bring out footage, and instead of people trying to at least, you know, copium it and be like, oh yeah, you know, it might be different, but it'll be good because it's BioWare and it's Dragon Age, it'll be alright. Literally everyone I saw that saw the trailer responded the exact same way. They all were like, this is gonna be an absolute train wreck. it's an older game. You've played it already. All those things factor in. Like it's a heavy story game, so once you know what's gonna happen, and then like I said, it's older, so you do become used to games being more complicated. Like, for instance, it's why I'm not much of a retro gamer personally. Like, I have games that I really loved when I played them when they came out or when they were relevant, right? Oh. Okay, this was the Rift, boys. But yeah, I had games that I really loved when they came out, and they were amazing and all of that. And I will still say that they're amazing and all of that. But the problem with them is that some of them are, compared to what you become used to, fairly shallow. You've done the story already. It's hard to go back and play them again. Like, Mass Effect 1 is a good example, right? Because Mass Effect 1 holds up like fucking milk, right? Mass Effect 1 is aged like milk. The shooting mechanics are horrible, the graphics are horrible. The RPG bits are fun and all of that, but they lack a bit of depth, but you know. So there's a lot of stuff there that we've seen it done better at this point, right? A lot better. So going back to that game, like, I loved it when I played it the first time around, but going back to it now is really hard for me. Like, I know the story, so I'm not playing for some, you know, like some story reveal that might be cool, you know, that I want to know. I'm never invested in the story the same again as I'm the second time around. I don't think anyone is. Like, if you know what happens and you've seen it, well, the second time around it can still be enjoyable, same with like a movie and everything, but you're never invested like that first time, where you don't know what's going on and you haven't seen it yet, and you know, you never invested like that ever again. So while the first time you might overlook a lot of gameplay things that aren't quite, you know, something, because you haven't seen the story yet, well, the second time the gameplay becomes a lot more important, because instead of the story carrying the load, now the gameplay is. And I think that's, you know, something where Dragon Age 1, for instance, suffers. Like, the story is really good, but it is quite rough, right? And then, like, if you go further back, one of my favorite RPGs of all time, right, that I played, is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, which is also a BioWare game, right? I really want them to remake that game, because I love it, but I can't go back and play it. It looks absolutely terrible. Like, gameplay wise, it's just not there, man. But the story was really cool, and like what you could do at the time was really cool. Because that even predates Dragon Age, right? That's like the thing they did before Dragon Age. And then if you go back to Knights of the Old Republic 1, that means that after that they did Knights of the Old Republic 2. So it's even further back. And like I said, it's not like it doesn't work. Like it can still hit decently, like from like the nostalgia, but it's really hard to play. So like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not much of a retro gamer. Like I think anything that came out in the Xbox 360, like the middle of the Xbox 360 era or the PS3 era, right? Those games hold up reasonably well. Like the graphics hold up, the mechanics usually hold up, but it can still be rough. Like Dragon Age is a good example. But anything before that becomes more and more of a chore. And I'm not talking like something that's like Mario, right? Like a 2D scroller or something. But like a game like this that was, you know, made 15 years ago is hella rough to play now. Like something that was supposed to look realistic at the time, and it looked as realistic as they could at the time, but now it looks like absolute dog shit. That kind of stuff. And then, you know, it had a lot of deep mechanics at the time, but then now, you know, we've gotten used to so much, you know, more elaborate mechanics that have things going on, and you know, stuff that you can do. And like even when I go back to a game that I haven't played, right, I'll get disappointed by sometimes how limited older games are. Because I played Mafia 2, for instance, really late. Like it had been out for years at the time, right? And I was like, oh, but you know, the Mafia 2 kind of looks cool. I picked it up on a sale. And at the time, you know, I think that was right before I started streaming. So I played through Mafia 2, and I came into the end, and I was like, it's not bad, but I kind of wish I could build like a whole Mafia empire and, you know, have like a little side game where I manage my Mafia, you know, like businesses and whatnot, and that it was less linear and, you know, story, because even though it's an open world game, Mafia 2 is linear as fuck. So yeah, I had a lot of those like quote unquote complaints, like things I wish that were a thing. And that's just because that game came out when that was about as good as it was gonna get. And I had, you know, seen the games that were later. And I was looking for features that just didn't exist yet when that, or that weren't common at all. But I already came from a perspective where those features were almost in every other game that I've played. Because I think at the time I played it, I already had played like GTA 5, Sleeping Dogs, which are very, you know, they have similar things, you know, similar themes and, you know, similar games, but they were so much more elaborate. Well, that guy's gone.
Think we can win?
Oh, for fuck's sake, this conversation again.
Odds beloved Inquisitor's success.
What would that look like? 3 to 1?
In his favor?
After Corypheus pulled an archdemon out of his arse. Are you joking?
I'm just not gonna reply anymore. No, I'm not doing it.
Great, man. We'll talk later.
Get Vivienne instead. I would if Vivienne wasn't a sword mage. Like, the problem with Vivienne's speciality is that she gets it's a really cool class to play as yourself, right? But it's horrible for the AI because it's basically a melee mage. And the AI will basically just put a mage in melee and then play it, you know, and not dodge things and not zip zap around, or, you know, come in, do like 2 slashes, go back out. It will literally play it like a warrior and it will just die in 2 hits every fucking time. Because it's a DPS class, you're supposed to like come in, do damage, go back out. Cast a couple of spells, you know, come back in. So basically what you have to do to make her not just die immediately is you have to turn half of her, like all the melee moves, which is her entire specialization, you have to turn that off, which makes her significantly weaker than anyone else. Like, I'll use it in a pinch, right? Because sometimes you need a mage and one of the other ones is just not cutting it. But, like, for instance, you're trying to fight a fire thing and, like, Dorian is all about fire.
What's the situation along the river?
I did that on one of the dragons. But even that has kind of resolved itself because Dorian now also has spirit magic. And lightning magic.
Set up camps near the banks, and they attack anyone who gets within view.
That will be all, Lieutenant.
And then Solas has 2 different kinds of magics as well. So yeah, Vivienne is another victim of bad design. Like, she's designed around a mechanic that only works if you're the player. Yeah, but not being able to use your speciality is, like, even if you were like, oh, let me just make her, you know, I'll just use the base mage classes to have her do the things. That way we don't have to worry about her being the melee knight, the knight enchanter or whatever. And you can, that is definitely something you could do, but the base classes are still, like, not being able to use the fancy classes, if nothing else, it just sucks. Like, you know, who wants to not use the fancy classes? That's no fun, right?
Turbat, one of the researchers. He was killed by Hackenites. I'm starting to worry that Grandin's gone and done something stupid. He was supposed to send word back when he reached his station, but nothing. Keep an eye out for him, please. For me.
I helped our soldiers defend against the Hackenite raid.
That's a relief. We've lost enough men to them.
I should go.
Safe travels.
How many times do I want to hear them betting against me? I hope at some point when I progress this the main story, they'll get a new line. Because we've been stuck on the same like story beat for a while, right? Like we haven't really pushed the story forward much, so they've been stuck on the same status, I guess, or same point. So I'm kind of hoping that at some point they'll get past that and they'll get new lines.
Make us smiles on this endeavor.
Your scribe Dunwich mentioned something called the Nox Morta.
Ah, yes. I have yet to lay eyes upon it. Pray do not request details so soon. Not when concrete evidence lies yet unturned.
I've evidence of your Nox Morta, I think.
Yes. To observe the mark of the teeth. Let me see. You're good and good. But yes, a beast unclassified. I'm interested in the bait presented. What lies before us is an opportunity to greet the unknowable. Yet I confess fear, knowing I lack the skill to confront it. Surely Andraste's herald does not share my limitation. If you would take the bait and confirm its existence, I would be in the Inquisition's debt.
What can you tell me about the Nox Morta?
Mere scraps of knowledge gleaned from bloodstained papers. They speak of a creature enamored of shadow lurking in the darkest places. Silence pays it favor, concealing its awed bulk until a stretched mouth takes its prey. Of course, some of my colleagues deem the beast a mere fancy.
I should go.
Inquisitor.
Okay. This fucking area is huge, by the way. Jesus Christ. Like I've been running around in this for the better part of an hour, like for over an hour already. We've barely dented it. Jesus. Yeah, again, that's a weird decision on behalf of game devs, right? They apparently rather have you hear the same line over and over again than just let it play out once, maybe twice, and then just put like a check mark on it where it's like, okay, we've covered this. It's not popping up again. And you know, once you run out of lines, they just stay quiet. Like I much prefer them to stay quiet.
For Grandin.
My dad used to say, you know, if you ain't got nothing to say, just shut up. I think that works. You know, that's a fairly good. Far less annoying than having the same line repeated to you over and over again. Perfect. There we go.
These were Hackenites.
And that's an Inquisition dagger. Harding said that scout might try something stupid. Did you see the look on those nobles' faces back at the palace, Chuckles?
They seemed unaccustomed to seeing elves without
See,
service
this
to-
dialogue, we've had that
or dwarves
multiple
at all.
times as well.
Priceless. That's definitely going in my next story.
Are you planning a chapter filled with courtly intrigue?
Close. I need to describe the face someone makes when they choke down something terrible.
That's why I'm saying that I think they're stuck on a certain like stat or status after certain events, because they're talking about what happened in the Winter Palace. Yeah, it's been a minute since we've been to the palace, right? Like, it's been weeks since we've done that quest. But I haven't really progressed the main story much further. Like, not at all. It's not like we haven't progressed it at all, but you know, not super much, right? Like a quest or two. So I feel like they're just still in that same state.
Someone's cut their way through these Hakon warriors. I can't decide if it's impressive or disconcerting.
So like, I could just advance the main story, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how far I can advance it before I start, before I hit a point of no return where I can't do any of this stuff. Because for the record, I don't think we're gonna have trouble with any of the story. Like, Billy's gonna be a fucking god during the story bit, which is fine. That can be cool, right? But you know, I do want to fiddle around with this. I think one of the DLCs is post story as well. I'm not sure, but I think it is. Like, it's after the main event's end, or you know, there's another event after the main event, that kind of thing. That might be more, you know, difficult to get through, because I'm assuming that'll be higher level as well. Yeah, we still have a little bit that we can improve, so I'm not too worried. We'll get a couple of levels that'll improve us. Obviously, we can make an armor to get the most out of our boy. I don't know if there's a level cap. I'm something in me is assuming it's sturdy, but I might be completely wrong. So yeah, it was a mission.
The Inquisition soldier.
Inquisitor, I've abandoned my post, haven't I? I had cause, just missing the permission part.
Harding told us about your friend, Jace.
He was studying at the university. Those Hakon bastards. Jace wasn't a soldier, he wasn't even armed. After this, he was going to show me Val Royaux. I've never been. I thought we might... I can't let this happen.
I'm sorry, Grendon.
I wasn't a soldier either, not before this. I lived in the Circle. Never had the skill for combat spells, so I picked up a sword. I wanted to fight for the Inquisition. The jaws of Hakon almost ended that, too. I was bleeding out when it saw me. It knows what I know. They will not kill more people. Not like Jace. I will protect them, Inquisitor.
This is bad.
It doesn't have to be this way. Release Grendon, Spirit.
Release? The spirit remains because I want it. I will protect our people. I want to fight, Inquisitor.
You're not walking out of here, demon.
If you stop me, then I cannot stop them. I won't allow it. Follow me, go!
Poor lad is possessed. Where are you? Oh, okay, over here. It's a shame that he gave himself up for a demon. I get it, but man, he should have just let it go. Well, the demon, not he could be Angie. You know, you don't have to let that go. Be Angie, but
Better than leaving him as an abomination.
Pride demons? Interesting. Attack on all of you! I'm back, I'm back. They all stand in the exact same spot. 10 out of 10. Did he just miss? I didn't even know you could miss. See if I can get Billy up. Master stamina amulet. Such stamina. Oh wow. The thing is, these don't really help because you can't really, like, you can get more max stamina, that's great, but you can't do any stat wise things to buff your stamina regen. So it just means you can do one more thing and then you're just out again, which is weird. But then again, there's quite a couple of statuses that you can be in that improve stamina regen, so it might be alright.
Finally found someplace I hate even more than caves. That's a first.
There. Another trail marker. mountain climber was here.
Hope she's not planning to trek out to the Frostbacks.
Another marker here. Over there.
Just in time! Join the fray! Fight the worthy one!
Not really. I feel lied to. She said the fight was a wordy one. It's just a lizard.
Well fought. I'd heard lowlanders were about. You'd be the Inquisitor from the hand.
Why am I spying on them through the bushes?
Oh, the fishing! I was to help Lena with the fishing. I must make an offering to the gods first. Shall I give your names in the prayer?
What's an offering prayer?
I've climbed this hill 1,000 times. Today, it was if a wind from the spirits lifted me. I was going to thank the gods with a brace of nugs. That beast must have scented the meat.
You offer meat to spirits?
The Lady of the Skies sends her birds, and Korth Mountain Father sends his wolves and bears. They wouldn't normally hear the prayer of a lowlander, but since you helped in the fight, I'll speak for you.
Sure.
I'd be honored to be mentioned in your offering.
The spirits will remember.
A precious gift, Inquisitor. I expect it will be helpful.
Generally helps to respect local traditions now and then.
Is this wise? Sometimes a spirit's attention can linger.
Oh, we can observe the prayer?
The lady keeps the skies, where blows the morning wind. Korth grants mountain shelter, hack on blooded hide and bone. Take this gift from Runa Learsdotten, and the Inquisitor from the lands below.
I just felt something.
A blessing? That's a good sign. You bring fine luck, Herald.
Well, I didn't expect it to just pop up.
Fascinating. Spirits rarely answer calls from those who aren't mages.
We've been favored. The gods don't always appear.
Oh, Pog, I got strength +1.
Perhaps a good story will put a smile on her face.
Alright. Nice blessing. I'll take it. I don't believe those stuff. I don't. I mean, here's the thing. If I don't believe in God, right? But if, you know, suddenly the blessings come down and, you know, he walks around, then I'll change my mind. I thought I was doing. Shit. And Drast haven't given me anything, so I don't believe. Yeah. The thing is, in this particular universe, I would believe in spirits. That we've seen spirits. Andraste and the Maker is just a religion. fuck, I already fucked it up. Man. That was rougher than I wanted it to be. I mean, here's the thing, like, Andraste wouldn't have to give, like, we believe in Andraste, by the way. We don't believe in the Maker. Andraste is like Jesus, right? Like, I'm not opposed to, for instance, that a character like Jesus existed, a person like Jesus existed. I just don't believe he's the son of God. Just like in this game, I'm not opposed to Andraste existing. There's quite a bit of proof that she existed. I just don't think she has anything to do with any kind of deity. She's just some kind of person. Well, they've kind of disproved that themselves already, right? Because we run into the spirit that's supposedly, you know, what's her face, Justinia, right? But then we quickly established that it's not. It's just a spirit that was nearby when Justinia died, and you know, kind of felt like, oh yeah, that I like that. And then took her form and what does it have to do with Andraste? That she might also not be, that she's also not a great spirit? Like, even if a spiritual version of Andraste exists, that it might just be a spirit that was nearby when she died and felt connected to her, and that's not a thing? So she's not even a great spirit. She's just, you know, she's dead. Like, she was just a person and now she's dead. Sure, or not, but we don't know that.
Does this say overcompensating to anyone else?
How do you know it wasn't Justinia? We asked her and she didn't even know. Like, in effect, it doesn't really matter, right? No, there isn't. But it doesn't matter. You either believe it or you don't. But it doesn't change anything, right? Like, if it's a spirit that thinks it's Justinia, acts like Justinia, does everything like Justinia, it might as well be Justinia's spirit. The difference is that it's still just a spirit and has nothing to do with God. Like, she hasn't been chosen by some deity, just a spirit. Just like in the case of Andraste, if there was a spirit that took the form of Andraste, right? Then it might as well be the ghost of Andraste, right? But it has nothing to do with her being chosen by the Maker. It's just, you know, a happenstance. And that's the thing I refute, is that the implication is that Andraste's spirit is a thing because the Maker wants her to be around. And she's different from just a demon that takes a form, or a spirit that takes a form. In this situation, it would be, for me, it would be like, no, it's just a spirit that takes a form. There's no higher power involved. Whether the spirit is actually Andraste or not, doesn't matter. It might show some clarity in how spirits are made, you know, where they come from. But that's about it. Like, the only thing, if it's the only thing that would make a difference, right? If it's a spirit that takes her form, there isn't necessarily an afterlife. That just means that there's spirits mimicking living beings. If
They do it so badly then.
if it's actually Andraste's spirit, that means there's some kind of afterlife.
I may not like everything.
That's something that we would learn then.
But without the warden, we'd all be blighted by now.
They've bought us some time. I will grant them that.
Ooh, a lever. Pull the lever, Kronk.
Oh, that isn't right.
That isn't right. I just pulled the lever. How can I pull a lever wrong? I feel like that's a fairly binary thing. You just, you know, pull the lever, don't pull the lever. There's only two positions.
That didn't do the trick.
Oh. Is there more of this nonsense? I think there's another one over there, right? Yeah. Problem is they're not all next to each other. This is a pain in the ass. I'm not even like this is bad or good puzzle design. This is terrible game design. The fact that I have to run around to pull these levers and then they can be wrong.
That didn't work.
So yeah, there's apparently another one that's somewhere, but fucked if I know where it is. So yeah, I'll look that up next time. Wait, I'll just park myself next to this thing so I can look it up next time. Cause I'm not like it takes forever to get places. Like I'm not gonna keep running like that. But yeah, next time we'll finish Frostback Basin, and then I think we're just in a stretch for story. Like then most of the side stuff will be done. I'm assuming, given that I don't know how long this took me, like 2-3 hours for this half. Say another 2-3 hours for the other half, and then we're just good to go for the rest of the story. But yeah, that was it for today, you guys. So I hope you enjoyed Billy's adventure. If you did and you are new, sorry about that. Hit the follow button right over there. Helps out a lot. Helps you come back next time. Be part of this great community we get going on. Check me out on social media on both Instagram and Twitter. We also have a Discord and a YouTube that you're welcome to go check out, have some fun with. And then finally, do please consider subscribing. It is the best way to support. Keep a channel alive. Keep me alive. I'm so way more than you think. And it's only the price of a fancy coffee. So give it some thought. And if you decide to do so, you get many high fives, fist bumps, all that great stuff. Otherwise, hope you all have a good day.